Hi everyone, this is Deb. Um, just got done making some yarn bobbins and I wanted to share a tutorial with you on how to use my printable. Um, this was the second set I did. This was from the first one right here. And I just had a really hard time with this point. And it's okay, and if you guys like it, I have the other original set for that I made, which is this one here. But I had a hard time cutting around that and getting a clean edge. So I redesigned it and come up with this one. You can use it for RAKs and gifts and stuff like that when you're sharing with your friends on some trims and stuff. So that's what I wanted to do, and I want a way to store them. I want to eventually make me a box, give me an idea here. I don't have one, but, something that I can set these in and go, get out of the way. I got too much crap in there. And I can, okay, well, we can go through and pick out what one I want. So I already put these two together to test them out. Now I used, this is Hammermill's cover, and it's premium cover stock. I can't think of it. I think I wrote it down someplace so I would remember. It's premium color copy cover, and it's 60 pounds. And it's a little lightweight for what I wanted to do here. So I didn't want to use this by itself. So what I did, and which is what I'm going to show you how to do, if you would like to, is I am using 3 layers. And there is, let's use the other one. We have the top layer, which is my design, and then a piece of cardstock, just a regular piece of cardstock, and that's pretty thick. And then for the back side, I wanted something that you could write on if you wanted to, so I used a piece of this, and it's kind of thin. It's old scrapbook paper, the old kind that you would just tape your pictures down on and stuff. I had some and I thought, this beautiful paper, I just love it. So that's what we're going to use. So what I did, since I'm going to have 3 layers, this is the one I started with, and this one's already got all 3 layers. But as you can see, I cut as close to the patterns as I could and cut off all the excess off of the, hopefully I'm staying in frame, guys. I cut off all the excess here. Went all the way around, cut all the excess off. So I didn't have all that extra, and I'm not wasting cardstock and paper that way. And so this is just the design layer. And then I went around and I cut around it with the scissors. Oh, my camera is a little bit close, guys, so I'm sorry. But cut it all out and ended up, say this is this. I already cut this piece off, but this is all 3 layers. I have the top layer, the cardstock layer, and then the paper layer on the back. And then what I did was I took and cut in between these. Let me put another thing on the other side to kind of hold that in place. Hopefully you can see this okay. This is my first time doing this, so please, please, please bear with me as I work through getting nervous about doing all this on camera. Okay. And I just set that piece off to the side and work those later. And then we're going to cut around. I think I want another one. Kind of keep that. From shifting. And I'll just move them as I go. And then start cutting around. Try to keep your scissors as straight as possible, because if you don't, and cut as far as you can without a lot of stop and go, and that will keep the paper from being a little rough from going around all these edges here. considering I have 3 layers here, it's kind of thick and it's making it a little difficult to cut without kind of giving the paper a little tiny bit of a weird edge from where you cutting around. Oop, and I'm out of frame, sorry. And just keep going. Now I'll probably try to edit this so we don't have as much wasted time on here. See, it kind of gives just a tiny bit of a rough edge, but it's not too bad. I don't mind it. Just finish going around, and I'm out of frame again. I want to hold it clear up there, and my camera's clear down here. I want to order one of those flexible camera holders. I think it will make things so much easier. Nope, that's not going to work. Can't do that yet. So that way I won't have to work around the camera like this. I can have it up higher. I don't see how you guys do this though. It's kind of awkward. Oh, but I just bumped the camera and it's moving just a little bit. What's up with that? Stop it. Okay, that's why it's doing that, because I just bumped it. All right, hopefully I didn't make you guys dizzy. All right, let's get on around here real quick and get this done. And I see a little bit of white, but we can darken that up. I need to move that so I can get around that spot there. Okay, and there we go. Get that off. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Don't need to look at that. Then what I did was took these apart, turned this over. This is going to be the back side, so don't write on it. I want to make sure top. How do I want to do that? That would be the back side. So let's say this is the front. Going to do the same thing, top and front. That way there's no mistaking getting these mixed up. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and ink your edges now. So you don't have to do that after you've glued it everything together, because you can actually see some white spots when you do that if you do it. I think my thing's getting a little rough here. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just want to take that stark whiteness away from there. That's going to be the top, so I need to make sure I remember what I'm doing here. And I'm not really inking to give it a real prominent edge, only to take that white edge off. So that'll be my first layer. I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to pause this so you don't need to see me do that. I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. I just wanted to tell you, I just finished this back side on the part that's going to have the glue on it. But when you get ready to do the back, now remember, if you want a page like this that you can write on, be careful. You don't want to really ink it too much. So I get sloppy on the back side because I'm only trying to hide the edges. But you might want to be careful on how much ink you put on the back on this side. And you know, you don't necessarily have to do all 3 of these layers. If you don't mind it being flimsy like this to put your stuff around, then that's fine. I guess it's just a matter of what you want to do. If your cardstock that you print on is heavy enough, then you might not even need to add these extra layers. But I really like how it really gives it stability, and you could probably even Mod Podge or put some kind of I don't know, some kind of clear medium over it to protect it if you need to. I don't personally see a need for it necessarily, but I could see where that could come in handy if you were going to use it a whole lot. So there we go. I have all 3 edges inked now. So now all we're going to do is do some gluing. And I'm going to start with the top. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And don't freak out on me when you see this, guys, but I put a pin in here that was not stainless steel and it rusted. And I'm still getting rusty colored glue out of it. So when you see that, don't freak out. See, just a little bit, kind of weird color is starting to come out of it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. I couldn't believe that. I thought it was a stainless steel pin, and it's obvious it was not. It's like, oh, God. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to glue all these pieces together. And it does not need to be perfect. I just want to make sure you get it the right direction. You don't want to put it in the opposite direction. That's why I wanted you to just mark it so you know what you're doing. But, so we're going to this piece next, actually. Top and front. And start in there before you put it all together and make sure you got it. It's pretty easy. It's not too hard to get out of whack. And then just kind of give it some, tell it who's boss there for a minute. And then we're going to take and put some glue on this piece here. Hope y'all can see okay in here with this lighting. My lighting in my office really sucks. So I apologize for that. It's the best I can do though. So we're not going to put too much glue on. This glue holds pretty good, to be honest, on paper. I really like the art glitter glue. Whoops, sorry, I just bumped y'all. And now we're going to, okay, top and front. We're going to put that in there just like so, and make sure it's in the right place before you don't got long, and then go over it. And what I usually do is use one of my brayers, sorry, and go over it like so, just to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. All right, it adheres really well. And check it out, make sure you don't have any white edges, and if you do, just kind of ink them up there a little bit. And then there you are. The one thing I would suggest, especially if you are distressing your papers, let the inks dry. Make sure they're dry before you put your laces or your trims or anything on there, because you do not want to mess up your trim, obviously. So, but that's it. I mean, this one I already dried, and this is what you get. Let me come in on these. So, and that's what they look like. I don't know if you want to know or not, but let's see here. If you're curious about size, let's see if I can figure this out. I can't get it on camera, but let me tell you, it is about a little over 2.5, between 2.5 and 2 3/8 inches wide here. And let's see how long it is. It's a little over 3¼ inches. Excuse me. Let me make sure that was right. Yeah, a little over 3¼ actually closer to 3 3/8. So, you know, they're pretty good sized, but small enough you could even use as top for cards or whatever you wanted in your journals if you didn't want to use it for a yarn bobbin. So, but there you go. I will have these. I'm going to put them both on my Etsy shop. So you can come back out here. If you want the other one. I like this one better, but you know, somebody might like this one better. So I couldn't transfer the images from this pattern over to this one because I had already, I made them to this pattern. So made them look a little weird trying to fit them into this area here. So it kind of stretched it a little bit. So it's going to take me reworking the pictures and everything completely in order to put them in this pattern. But if y'all are interested in that, let me know, and I'll try to work on that. Okay. Thank you for sticking it out with me, and I hope y'all are safe and you have a good day and you come back soon. See ya. Bye.